Hey, how you doing? I'm just finished up putting together my 2010 NCAA tournament brackets, and I think I'm looking pretty good this year, but I sort of came to a conclusion after watching some ESPN over the weekend. They did this study where they put 100 people in a room, had them fill out their brackets, blank, no teams assigned, and they ended up getting like 80% of the games right. So it seems the only thing that keeps us from having a perfect bracket is ourselves. I thought I'd come up with a seemingly random system this year to fill up my bracket to see how well I did. Certainly can't do any worse. Now, I had an idea where I'd let my dog Clementine help me out. I had two pieces of food, one in each hand. Say I had Syracuse and Vermont, and I'd let her choose whichever one would be the winner. Unfortunately, Daisy ate Syracuse. So I had to find a different system. So here's what we're going to do this year. I'm going to take each mascot from each team and imagine a real-life steel cage death match. Which mascot would come out of there alive? We'll do that for each game of the tournament. We're going to do the West Division right now from top to bottom. First game is an athletic and death match, no-brainer, but we come to very different conclusions. On paper, the Syracuse Orangemen, they should mop up the Vermont Catamounts. But in a cage match? How is an orange going to fight back? The only hope he has is that this particular catamount is allergic to citrus fruits, but I don't even think it'd get that far. The cat would just bat the orange into submission, be a pile of pulp on the floor. They wouldn't even nibble it. Let's go Vermont Catamounts. Now we have the Bulldogs of Gonzaga versus the Seminoles, and I think this is going to depend on who strikes first. If the Bulldog can sink his teeth into our Indian friends before he can draw an arrow, the boys from Jacksonville could be heading home early. I think it would have to be a perfect arrow either way, so I'm counting on a wounded Bulldog team to ultimately wear out the Seminoles. I'll say the same for the Butler Bulldogs. Maybe I just like dogs. Miners are tough, yeah, no doubt about that, but if this match lasts past like a minute or two, all that soot that the UTEP Miners have been breathing in for years, that's going to cause some wheezing, some hacking, some coughing, and that's going to leave the door open there for the Bulldogs. No way the Miners get past that. Now we have the weakest matchup in the division, the Vanderbilt Commodores versus the Murray State Racers. And a Commodore, that's just a nickname for the University of Vanderbilt's founder. A racer? He's only good at running away real fast, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Commies for sticking in the ring. I'll also take the Xavier Musketeers over the Minnesota Golden Gophers, the Kansas State Wildcats over the North Texas Mean Green, that'll be a blowout, and the Pitt Panthers over the hoity-toity Golden Grizzlies. Also, I'm going to take the Florida Gators over the BYU Cougars. I know Cougars are fast, but in the cage venue, one good snap from a Gator would be enough to break them. In the next round, I like the Dogs over Cads any day. Go Gonzaga. Butler will maul the Commodores, giving us an all-Bulldog Sweet 16. I'll take Butler in that one. I'm going to count on the Xavier Musketeers to get off a good shot on the Pitt Panther, and then they'll fire off another one on the Florida Gator. There's just too many weapons in that cage. And I know, on the court, this doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense, but hey, either does my wife's bracket, and she usually beats me every year. This leaves a Butler Bulldog versus Xavier Musketeer final. I really don't see a punch being thrown in this one. Both teams are going to come out alive. Dog, man's best friend. But who's picking up whose poop? We'll go Butler Bulldogs all the way to the Final Four. You heard that one here first. And tomorrow we're going to look at the Midwest Division, and I'll give you a little hint. I'm not liking the Ohio State Buckeyes.